We are at TechCrunch 2023. My name is Milan. What is your name?
My name's Allie.
Allie, nice to meet you. What are you doing here?
I am founder of Furggle. We are going to be an AI-based chat system for any pet owners. We're also going to have a televet system incorporated in it.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to be in a kind of a 3-in-1 system, the final app destination for all pet owners.
Wow. Okay, how did you get into this? How did you decide? Are you a founder?
Yeah, I'm a founder.
How did you decide you want to build this?
So I came from veterinary field, actually. I graduated as an animal science pre-vet. I'm trying to go to veterinary school right now. I worked as a veterinary technician in a hospital setting for around 6 years. So working with that, I have pets of my own too. I noticed that there's a lot of pet owners, there's scarcity of appointments, there's lack of veterinarians in the United States. There's a lot of gap, and I want to enhance the experience of pet owners when it comes to hospitals.
Very cool. You seem like you are incredibly hardworking. Between becoming a vet and now building your own startup and also applying to go to school, how do you balance it all? How do you stay sane?
Well, this summer was really hard because I was applying to veterinary schools at the same time of working on this app. I came from University of Pennsylvania. I won a pitch competition there back in April of this year. So I was in an incubator phase. I was working on a school application. I was still in school. I also had a full-time job. So literally there was a lot going on all at once, but I think managing time really helped me. Using my weekends to work on things, using this app as sort of like a breath taker, as sort of like taking it into more as like a hobby instead of like a job, really helped me get through everything.
And is it just you working on this? Do you have a team, or like how did you bring an app to life being a vet?
So we're still working on the MVP product right now. So after I got that pitch competition, I got a team of sort of legal advice. I had a lawyer who was working with me very closely. I have an advisor when it comes to this. So everyone has been sort of a team trying to help me get this to life. And I met a lot of people at TechCrunch who are giving me advice, who are very tech savvy. I'm not tech savvy, obviously. I'm here to meet people who are like that. So they've been giving me a lot of advice that I've been using and taking close to heart.
Are you excited about where the tech industry is going and what you'll be able to build within it? Are you more nervous now being here and hearing about the difficulties in fundraising and the landscape? What do you think about where we're going?
The thing is that there's a lot of development happening in the tech world. I think there's a lack of people from other fields trying to incorporate that tech. So for example, there's not a lot of tech being incorporated into veterinary medicine, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm kind of trying to pioneer into that new industry. And I've seen here that a lot of people are, whether it's healthcare, whether it's education, they're trying to incorporate a lot of technology into various fields. And I think that's amazing. And I think we're headed in the right direction for that. And there's just so many motivated, smart people here. And when I've connected with them, I realized that we have a great future.
What is like a fun fact or something that you know that probably not a lot of people know from being in the veterinary industry or being at this intersection of veterinarian and tech?
Well, this is definitely one of the reasons why I was able to come up with this idea, is that there is not that many veterinary schools. People say that vet school is harder to get into than medical school. I 100%, 1000% agree with that. A lot of schools pick only up to like 110 students, where there's like 4,000 applicants, like maximums, or even like that. So there's actually not a lot of veterinarians per the amount of pets there are in the United States. So I think that's like a really big thing. Well, this is like the part where you would try to utilize technology to kind of make up for that lack of veterinarians in the field.
Makes a lot of sense. What would be a piece of advice you would give to an aspiring founder, maybe one who's also in veterinarian school or is really trying to aspire to get into the space?
I think as long as you have your passions, as long as you know what you're going for, I think that's like a really good motivation to be resilient, to not give up. Because something that I've realized is that I had this idea and it's great. I feel like it's great. People have told me it's great, but it's really hard to get your feet off the ground for the beginning. It's hard to find investors. It's kind of hard to find the right people to go ahead and make this MVP and make this come to life. But I know that I'm doing this for the greater good. I know that I'm passionate about the people of veterinary medicine, about the pet users, the pet owners, and the patients, obviously. So as long as your motivation and heart is in the right place, I think other people will come through for you.
One last question. Any advice to someone on figuring out that motivation, or if they're right on the cusp of deciding whether they should go to vet school or they should go into this field or not, what would you say to them?
Specifically the veterinary medicine, or?
I think in general for founders who are trying to make the jump of like what they want to do and figuring out what their purpose is, but it's either deciding going into school or becoming an entrepreneur, really, like figuring out your passion.
Something that I realized from talking to a lot of the people here, and even people who are not founders yet or not entrepreneurs, I talked to a lot of students here. They asked me like, oh, how did you become a founder? Like, what's an industry I should go into? And they would ask me that. But instead of focusing on a market or an industry that has a greater profit, I think you should focus on an industry that you could be passionate about, whether it's food, whether it's toys. I think you can make a great business out of anything as long as you know what it's about. As long as you're passionate about it, you should be able to find a business idea that can grow big from it. So I think as long as people find what they're passionate about, they should be okay with their business idea as well.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today. Thank you. Milan, nice to meet you. Can we connect with you? Are you on Instagram at all by chance? Sweet.
As long as you guys don't say I am a veterinarian, because I applied to veterinary school.
Okay.
So we don't want veterinary schools to think that I'm telling people that I'm a vet. That's a wrong information. I am not a veterinarian yet.
Okay.
We'll see. Maybe next year I'll be a vet. Talk to me then.